This home is full of incredible ideas. We're 15 minutes out of downtown Nashville. It's rustic, modern, and certainly luxurious. Let's check out Ellen and Scott's home. Hey, Ellen.
Hey.
Hey, Scott. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me out today.
Welcome.
This is incredible. It's really impressive. Just a beautiful home.
Well, thank you so much.
And I've barely seen any of it
well,
yet.
hey, come on in. Let's check it out.
I'd love to. Wow. It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
What a feature wall full of glass. I am dearly speechless. You guys did an incredible job.
Thank you.
Look at all these couches. I feel like I could just hang out here all day.
And we do.
Yeah, that is great. How tall are these ceilings in here?
19 feet.
19 feet.
Yep.
Wow. Well, okay, the property that we're sitting on, clearly we have a great view with windows that go all the way 19 feet up. Now, tell me a little bit about the property that we're sitting on right now.
We're sitting on 11 acres, and I found this property completely by accident and fell in love with it instantly, called our realtor friend, bought it without doing any research, which is a terrible idea. Don't do that, but I got very lucky. I went camping for a year, got to know the property. Ellen fell in love with it, and we decided to build.
You camped on this property for a year?
Yep.
Wow. Boy, that's great. That probably helped influence your positioning of where to put the house.
100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually quite a drive to get up here. It's an adventure, to say the least. And it really makes it special. By the time you make the last turn coming up the driveway, it just hits you. I mean, it is really a spectacle up here. It's a hidden gemstone. And we're atop quite a bit of a hill here.
So the driveway is 1,000 feet long with 180-foot elevation gain.
And then what direction are we facing looking out this way?
We're facing west, so we get the sunset view.
Yeah.
And we've minimized exposure with windows on the southern wall, maximized the sunset, but we still capture the sunrise, and when we go upstairs, you'll see the 360 views.
Now the style in here, it's just stunning. How were you inspired to achieve this style? What were your driving factors?
So one of the main things is Scott really loves rustic. Like if it was up to him, we would have a traditional log cabin up here. I really love modern, all white, lots of windows. And so we kind of combined those styles. Plus I felt like the rustic really fit in with the environment that we're in, but we wanted it to be a little bit elevated and modern.
Yeah, well, you certainly hit the point on that. Yeah, it's beautiful. I can see there's gonna be a wide appeal, wide draw for a home like this. So I'd love to have you showcase this for all the viewers out there, and no better place to start than the kitchen. Also, you mentioned that you're both in tech, yes. So I am sure that there are a few bells and whistles that a lot of people don't quite catch when they're watching this through video, so be sure to point those out to us.
Yeah, there absolutely are. So I love to cook, so I wanted the best tools. I did a ton of research. I did weighted estimates on features that I wanted out of appliances, and I kind of landed on either Viking or the Sub-Zero Wolf series, and everybody directed me to Sub-Zero. So the house is entirely Sub-Zero, Wolf, Cove, that line. Since I love to cook, I have a gigantic fridge freezer. So we got the 36-inch columns, which I highly recommend if you're designing a space and you can create the room for it. As a chef, it makes such a difference to be able to prepare a bunch of lasagnas and have them in the freezer and have plenty of space and those sorts of things. Another cool thing we did is I really love to do sous vide cooking. And so we installed a vacuum seal drawer over here.
Wow.
And so this is a commercial chamber vacuum sealer right in the island, which is nice.
Boy, I do feel like I'm in a chef's kitchen, that's for sure. So yeah, we've got 6 feet of Sub-Zero fridges here. So we've got a freezer on one side,
Yep.
fridge on the other.
Yep.
So 3 feet each. Whoa, look at this.
Yeah, so we have a mini golden doodle Stella,
Aw.
and we put a little feeding station for her. And our countertop friends also recommended a backsplash because, you know, dogs they like to splash water when they drink. So it was great to get that in there too, but it's really nice to have it out of the way. You're not kicking a water bowl when you walk through the kitchen.
And now, of course, I can't help but look at this countertop. Scott, is this about 3 inches, this top
Yes. Yeah, this is a quartz countertop, 3 inches to raise it up just a little bit for the bar height.
Well, we're also both really tall, so we wanted, as we called them, tall people amenities. And so, you know, if you're really tall and you're doing a lot of food prep, it helps if your counter's just a little bit higher. If you try to raise the rest of the counters, you start to have problems with appliances being like the wrong height. So having your main work surface is a really easy way to do some customization. So we love to do a lot of entertaining, especially with me loving to cook. And one of the things we love to make is old fashions. And when somebody finishes with their drink, you bring it over here and you just do a quick rinse before you give them a refill. And that's a really nice little like bartender thing to have on hand.
That's awesome. The big work surface that you have over here with all the seating, you probably were planning on hosting and entertaining.
Yep, for sure. That and another thing is we both work from home full time, and Scott loves to sit and work at the bar. He has an office, but he likes to kind of move around while he's working. And so he will often be sitting here. So we wanted to have really comfortable chairs. We didn't want uncomfortable stools. And we wanted this to be deep enough that I could be here chopping something and not splashing onto his laptop, right? So that's why we designed it this way.
Wow, well, it really is great. And I love the accenting island that we have here with the darker finish compared to the perimeter.
Yeah, I definitely recommend, especially if you're building a big kitchen, to have some of those accents. Otherwise it can be like a lot of the same color.
Yeah. We have really great symmetry here with your beautiful wolf cooktop and hood with the Sub-Zero on the other side. This is really, really great how the whole kitchen laid out. Take me through this a little bit. Is this 48 inches wide? How wide is it? Okay,
Yeah, it's a big one, and it's got a griddle here and 6 eyes. And this baby pulls so much air that we had to have makeup air.
Yep.
So that was a fun calculation. And then having this is really helpful. So you don't have to like carry a pot of water from your sink over. You can just fill it up right here, and that's very useful.
And I mean, we can't overlook what is happening here with this beautiful backsplash.
Yeah, so like say you are, making pasta sauce or something that like stains really bad. You don't really want it to splatter onto your natural marble like we have our backsplash or get in the grout. And so having a nice big quartz surface that's easy to clean is really helpful. We were really happy with how ours turned out design-wise with this pattern here that laid out nicely next to the pot filler.
And then right next to this, we've got a steam oven, is that?
Yeah, so this is a steam oven. This is your typical convection oven. But this is what I use for the sous vide. So using steam, it can hold a very precise temperature for a long time. So I will vacuum seal something, pop it in here, turn on the steam at 160 degrees and let it go. The other thing that's really nice about a steam oven is it's really good for reheating food. Like leftovers taste like you just made them. It's the best way for heating. This actually is a smart oven, and so it will send a push notification to my phone when it's at the right temperature. So if I'm preheating or something, so that's really nice.
There's so much beautiful light in this kitchen. I even see it accenting the beams that are going across. Do you have any sort of smart home integration with your lighting?
Yeah, so the lighting is largely Lutron. We have a little bit of Hue, but it's really nice because you can create scenes. So we have an entertaining scene that turns on all the lights. You can turn off all your lights at once. We have a scene that we call Evening Chill, which is we just finished work and we want things to be a little like dimmer, right? We have Let's Eat, and it also plays music. So it'll turn on the speakers and play some music while we have dinner.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you've got smart speakers throughout the home too?
Yep.
Wow. Boy, this place is just perfect for entertaining. I see an awesome wet bar over here. Scott, will you walk me through some of the process and how you laid this all out?
Happy to. So with the bar, most of the cocktail dishes are in this cabinet here. I've got some of my favorite bottles up on top. The majority of the bottles are here in the center.
That's what you brought me when you came to Golden Eagle, right here. That bourbon whiskey.
Yes, the Short Mountain for our Short Mountain. It's a local distillery, and you'll be taking one of these home with you when you leave.
You guys are too much.
We also love this. This was kind of an unintended happy coincidence, is that when you walk in this door from the garage, it's really nice to have some place for stuff to land. And it used to be our dining table, but then the dining table would be cluttered when you're trying to have dinner. And it's nice to have just a landing spot for packages or whatever it is. And so we also have this little spot with like a charger, some tissues, where to put the mail. And so it's just like nice to be able to have a drop zone as you walk in the door.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And this is a smart lock, which is also nice because if we need to let somebody in and we're not home, we can just give them a code. It also connects to our phone, so you can make it part of your arriving at home automation to automatically unlock it for you.
Wow, awesome. And I'm sure that once you get to a certain point at night, if the door isn't already locked, it'll automatically lock it for you.
So we actually have a good night automation, and when I tell Siri good night, it does a few things. It turns off a bunch of lights, and it closes some of the blinds, and it also makes sure that this door is locked.
Wow. So the blinds are smart blinds also?
Yes, they're also Lutron smart blinds. And you can either voice control them with scenes, or you can use a button to control them. They have little
Look at
remotes
that.
everywhere.
Oh wow, up there too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. A lot of times it's really tough to achieve any sort of blinds in those upper windows because you can't reach them. But this is perfect.
And we have found it to be very important because there are times of the day that the sun is just blinding.
You had nearly everything planned from the start, but there are some things that you just don't know to expect. Anything about this space where it really ends up being one of your favorite things that you didn't even really plan for?
So we planned for this, but I think, I know you were skeptical about the bottle filler, and now you're in love with it.
True.
The bottle filler?
Yeah, so it's in the pantry.
Oh,
We have a Butler's pantry.
Let's take a look.
I drink a lot of water
That is awesome.
throughout the day. Being able to just get a quick fill of chilled filtered water.
That is great.
Not bad.
Wow.
So this is a Butler's pantry, although Scott calls it the breakfast kitchen because we have our stuff for coffee in here. But I wanted a space where I could have all the appliances and kind of make a mess, but like when I'm entertaining, keep that space a little cleaner. You know, you always have all these heavy appliances that are down in a cabinet that you're having to like lift out. And I wanted them to be on the counter, line them up. Plus, if you want to do something like, you know, a chili contest with your friends and they all want to line up their crock pots and plug them in, you've got like a nice space to do that.
It's even nice that the microwave is hidden and out of the way in the base
Yeah,
cabinet.
so, you know, you got to have a microwave, but they're not usually like the prettiest appliances. So we've got one down here. We also have a drink fridge that's really nice for just all of your, you know, canned drinks, and you can just point friends, say, oh yeah, everything's in the drink fridge.
Perfect, especially for the entertaining and the hosting that you guys do here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you, this barn door that we have outside the room, it's really just a beautiful showpiece.
Yeah.
Do you close this room off ever? Or is it really
We
meant to
don't
just stay
normally,
here?
yeah, we don't normally, but like it's nice that we could. I think, you know, we haven't been here all that long, but I could see if we were having some big party and had a ton of mess in there, we might close it.
I spotted a feature. Let's wait for it. Soft
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
I love it. That's
so
great.
important, especially because these doors are so heavy and they're literally hanging. You don't want them to like slam shut, or if you've got guests over who don't know to be careful with the door.
Let's remind the viewers, these are not regular doors. These are 8-foot tall doors.
Yes,
Yeah.
all of the doors in the house, we're both tall people and we wanted tall people amenities, including the tall doors, but they also work really well in a space that's got such tall ceilings. Otherwise they might feel a little squat.
Yeah, yeah. I even love that you did no casing around here. That way it really leaves the barn door to be the accent on the wall.
Yeah.
I love what you did with the fireplace. It's really a wide chase. And most people may not quite realize this when they first see it, but that's one heck of a fireplace.
Yes.
It's a sealed door unit. Is that 45 inches wide?
Yes. One of my favorite things, inspired, Zach, by your home as well. And so we wanted to do the stone fireplace, stone all the way up, stone mantle, and have the wood stove vented to the outside, so that we're using outside air for combustion instead of the climate controlled air inside. So super efficient, really nice.
Yeah, they are. It's really spectacular. And the finish on there, that looks like a heavy cast iron. That's really the appearance that it gives.
Yeah.
Ties in with the metal elements that I see throughout your home.
Yes.
Even looking beyond through these windows out here, that rebar is awesome. And to me, I see the connection to that also.
But I fell in love with the rebar spindles at Golden Eagle, and that's been a really, really cool feature. Everyone loves to talk about it
Yeah,
when they come
people
over.
comment on it all the time.
It's unbelievable how many of the rebar spindles that we're doing these days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you were really on the cutting edge of that. You were one of the first to be picking that out. It was a new offering at the time. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about the layout of this space. Because I'm just assuming that every single thing you did in this home had a lot of thought put behind it.
Sure.
Because you really are, everything is so perfectly laid out. What was your intention for how this was laid out?
Yeah, so this whole room, this is the main entertaining space. And so we wanted a couch that you could fit a lot of people on really comfortably. Like maybe you want to have a Super Bowl party, maybe you're just all sitting around, you know, with your old fashions hanging out, but it's a really nice, comfy couch. We also wanted it to be deep enough that you could sleep somebody on it if you wanted, you could take a nap on it. And so this is an extra deep couch that I measured about 1,000 times to make sure it actually fit in here. So we really just wanted a really comfortable space. We want our space to look nice, but we also want it to be a space that's nice to live in, right? And so that's a lot, the intention behind such a cozy, big couch.
And one of the elements that Ellen thought through meticulously is that all of the seating throughout the house has power wired underneath. So there are floor outlets under each of these seats as well as upstairs and throughout the house.
When you're hosting, I can also see where this is perfect as a spot for someone to be able to lean up against while they're talking to someone else.
And I love that I can be cooking and doing my thing, but still engaging with people in this nice big open space.
Yeah. Okay, so when people come in here, what usually captures their attention? Are their eyes drifting up to the beams on the ceiling? Is it all about the kitchen? Is it the fireplace, the big window wall? I mean, for visitors, this is probably the first time they've seen a home like this. This is really unique. What do you hear a lot of feedback about?
The kitchen.
Yeah.
I'd also say it depends on the person, because like his friends come over, they don't even come up here, they go down to the workshop and they're like, wow. And my girlfriends come and run to the kitchen and go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We also have a lot of people that comment on this couch and just want to like come in here and take a nap.
Well, I've seen the floor plans. I've heard of other people that have visited your home, and they say that there's a lot to see. So for those who are watching, be sure to stay tuned. There is a lot more to cover on this incredible home tour. But I haven't seen any of this yet, so these are my genuine reactions as we go through. Well, I'm tempted to just take a look out at the porch over here, the deck.
Sure.
Being that we mentioned the rebar spindles, and I see some beautiful lighting out there too. Mm-hmm. So let's go check that out.
Love it.
Wow, I've seen pictures. Yeah. It is so much bigger in person. Yeah. Are these 12-inch logs?
Yes.
Yeah. And just the scale of this, I mean, we really do get pretty tall out here. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, gaining my composure here. I love what you did with bringing the stone up. Really, it's a good way to accent the amount of finish that you have. You've got 3 different textures on the wall. That's usually one of my favorite recommendations, is to mix and match a little bit throughout the home. Maintenance-free decking here.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, the rebar spindles that we mentioned before, and Golden Eagle's hand-hewn posts. I like what you did with the lighting out here too. Do you do much hosting out here?
We haven't yet, mainly because we don't have a lot of furniture out here yet, but eventually we plan to get some. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the best views. So, you know, we do a lot of standing out here and watch the deer and the turkey.
Yeah.
We have a lot of wildlife here.
It's very serene out here. Mm-hmm. Well, once you do have more hosting opportunities out here, this will make a great drink rail.
Yeah, it will. It will. And these posts, which we have all over the place, are great to like set something on because they're big.
Yeah, they sure are. And you've got an herb garden over here. You mentioned this is really nice to have close to the kitchen.
Yeah, since I love to cook, and, you know, and herbs are so much more expensive at the store, and these herbs grow like crazy, like you can see. So I like to have this herb garden here, and I can just come out here and snip whatever I need from it.
Well, taking a look out here, I am looking forward to seeing, is that a sunroom up there?
Yep, that's the 360-degree view.
Wow.
We call it the treehouse.
Yeah.
The treehouse.
Yeah, we do.
Well, great. Well, let's head back inside. I don't mean to get us too sidetracked. I just kept getting distracted looking through these big windows.
I get it.
Now, when I walked in, I really just, my eyes passed right through the foyer area, right into your great room. But this is gorgeous. It looks like I'm looking at a magazine photo right now. We've got the 8-foot tall door. I love your selection on the door too. We're bringing in a lot of great light, and with your transom above also. What was the intention of the transom here? Was it so you still had space on the wall for hanging anything?
Yeah, if we wanted to hang something, and you know, we have the transom up there. We wanted you to be able to see the chandelier as you were approaching, and let some of that chandelier light out onto the deck. And then, you know, we have most people take their shoes off, so we need a place where people can sit easily and like leave their shoes and maybe hang a jacket.
Well, I'm gonna get a lot of comments below about wearing my shoes in your beautiful home. For the record, everyone, these are brand new shoes. They were perfectly clean.
We all cleaned all of our shoes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's head back that direction. Beyond the pantry, I'm curious what's down over there.
Yeah.
Right, so as we were planning out the entertaining spaces, as much as Ellen loves to entertain inside, I love to entertain outside. So we wanted to make sure that the exterior entertaining space was thoughtful as well. We have the half bath just off the dining so that it's private, and then also close to the exit to outside, so that if people are working, you know, playing outside and they have dirty shoes, they can come in and use the restroom without being concerned about tracking stuff through the house.
Yeah, perfect.
Come on this way.
This is awesome out here. Oh, you even got uplighting on your stone wall to even have a stone wall that's accenting everything else in here. That's great, but the first thing I see is all the screens in here. Just such great airflow. Yeah, I can see why you'd want to host out here quite a bit.
That's great. And the airflow is also important when you're running a smoker on the porch. It's great to get that smoke out and be able to enjoy still sitting out here and having a drink.
So who's the master of the green egg?
Ellen.
I mean, we're both doing it, but yeah.
I follow instructions well.
The secondary kitchen.
You cook the way I cook, Scott.
There you go.
Also, I love the corrugated steel that you have here with a real special finish on there. It's really a nice accent, and it brings that pop of color because you don't have as many opportunities to bring in color in a space, an outdoor space, right? So that's really great too. Nice contrast.
Yeah, we also all along the edges put in these floor plugs, so so you can have some power out here.
Oh.
And yet they're hidden away. We didn't want to put them in the actual corrugated, and so we decided to put them in the floor instead.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And that's one heck of a ceiling fan out here.
Yeah, I mean, we have found if you have a fan, even when it's hot and muggy, which we get a lot of here in Nashville, it's amazing how much more pleasant it is to sit out here, even when it's hot out.
Yeah.
With the shade and the fan.
This is a really big screen porch.
Yeah, so there's a future vision for this screen porch.
Okay, what is that?
This corner has been reinforced for a future hot tub. So we're gonna get a saltwater hot tub eventually, and then some loungy furniture for this corner.
Awesome.
And then we have the dining set over there, so you can eat out here as well.
Boy, that's great.
So just like Golden Eagle will special engineer the floor trusses for a fireplace or a kitchen, also engineered the floor trusses here for the hot tub in the future.
Well, I'm glad you had the foresight to plan on that.
Yeah.
I see you have a special electrical hookup over there too.
Yep, it's ready to rock.
Wow. And the wall sconces too. That's just great ambient lighting when you're in this space as well.
Yeah, those are really cool. And those are actually hue bulbs, so we can change the color of them, which is fun.
Cool. Well, awesome. Well, it makes perfect sense that you have that half bath right off of this space. I can see why you'd be doing a lot of hosting out here.
We spend a lot of time out here. Yeah, so one of our other favorite entertaining spots we call the tree house. It's a room where you can see the view from all around.
A tree house?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah.
This is so cool. You get a view of the whole property when you're up here. This is absolutely amazing. So what was your original intent? Was it to be hosting up here, or is this a getaway lounge space?
This is a little bit more of a private space, but we do host up here from time to time. This is the room that we're really looking forward to spending more time in the fall. Mm-hmm. So we have the gas fireplace with the remote on, and the views of all the fall leaves changing, and we're really looking forward to this over the next few months.
Oh, I'm sure. That's a huge timber that you've got on the mantle there. That looks awesome. Now, what is this? What are these handles below the TV? Is that for pulling it out?
Yeah, so this TV, if you were sitting in the chair, maybe you're a gamer or something, and you want to go out of theater mode and get the TV a little closer to eye level, and pull the TV down.
Wow.
Just
that
like
is awesome.
And it'll also swivel a little bit for someone who might be in a side chair.
Well, that would be a much more immersive experience. I can see why a gamer would want that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or even just for those who don't want to have a TV too high up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is brilliant, really cool. You guys thought of everything. That's great.
Another thing we did in this room that was really nice is these are electric recliners. You know, they have a little remote, but you always have cords like stretched across the room. And so we put plugs under each of these, so you don't have any of those.
How does it work, Scott?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome. And all of these recliners in here, even the love seat.
Yep, yep.
That is great.
And we also put these
Looking good.
plugs in the trim because there wasn't room for that. And so we just made them brown and.
Yeah, I didn't even notice them. They just blend right in. Now, usually most people can't appreciate their shingle color. I love what you did. I see that's Tamco's Black Walnut out there. That's one of our best sellers, and it really goes well with the color of your home's exterior. That's pretty cool to be able to see that.
It's great, and also, so that just opens up, climb right on out.
Awesome. Your entertaining spaces just keep expanding.
I know, the whole roof.
Inside the tree house, I was looking out those windows. I couldn't believe how high up we were.
Yes.
So I am not going to go any closer that direction. But this is really convenient for just blowing off the leaves that are up here.
True.
Checking any sort of gutters. Do you have gutters on this home?
We do. We have gutters all the way around that drain underground and go out and exit over the hill.
And probably a good thing that you camped out on this property to see where all the water does drain, like you mentioned earlier.
Very true.
Boy, it's really coming full circle.
If you are gonna have a room like this that's got lots and lots of windows and is on a third story, is you want those electronic blinds.
Wow. They're so quiet.
They are. And they're synced too, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's like an orchestra.
Yeah.
And these must be Lutron blinds.
They are, and these are the light filtering ones. We have blackout in the bedrooms, but it's also just nice if it's really bright out and you're trying to watch TV, you know?
Yeah.
Or like a dark show.
Oh, that is wonderful. When looking at the exterior of the home, we see a huge feature-walled windows. Clearly this is the top section. So what is the next section below us?
It's exactly the same in the master bedroom.
Oh, great. All right, well, let's check that out. Wow. Awesome. So you've got the smart blinds on this too?
Yep.
Are these blackout?
And they're blackout, yeah. So it's really nice if maybe you're sick, you want the lights to go out.
Wow. And then this is probably scheduled, if you wanted, when your alarm comes on in the morning.
Yeah, you can have
go
the
up.
blinds open. We do actually have a cool feature on the lights in here. At the time we want to wake up, these are all hue bulbs and they have a sunrise function. So they will slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter until it's time for us to get up. So we kind of get up with the sunrise. We did start out with the blinds attached to that, but we love looking out at the starry night sky, so we didn't want the blinds closed at night.
Yeah, that is great. I really like the flat ceiling with the timbers spanning across it also.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the grouping of threes. We got 3 big timbers, 3 huge windows. It really makes the space feel pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, really light and airy, kind of more minimalism in here when it comes to the actual decor. The decor is, or the view is the decor. The view is the beauty. That's
really what we wanted the highlight to be, and even the main color of the house is just the green of the outdoors, or orange when fall comes.
Wow, that is a cool shower. This is awesome. I love that you took the tile all the way up. How tall is the ceiling in here?
I believe it's about 14, 15 feet tall.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, your large tile selection really is just very fitting for that space. And I like that you accented it with something different.
Yep.
Love the huge mirror. So the implementation of a big mirror really reflects a lot of light in here. Bounces a lot of light, but also makes it feel bigger too.
Yeah, we thought about having the mirror go all the way up, but then we were thinking just practically how to clean that and where to put your lights. So we've made it as tall as we felt like was practical. And I also really love, we obviously have the separate sinks, but I love having a makeup table, like a place to sit to do my skincare routine and all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great.
And we also did these wall mount faucets. They're really tricky to get lined up, but once you have them, it's nice because you can clean under them really nice. You have more of a clear counter.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Plus it goes well with kind of that industrial theme of the piping that we have in here, and I see you've got the same in the shower area. Any smart home features in this bathroom space?
Yeah, so one feature we did is, hey Siri, party shower.
Whoa, that's awesome.
It plays music too.
Oh, cool.
Essentially, it's just hue bulbs that are tied to a scene within
Yeah.
the home kit that also tie to a HomePod speaker that we have in here. So if you want to listen to music in the shower,
Right.
have some cool lighting. We have some others that just are dimmer lighting if you're trying to calm down after a long day and you want to take more of a chill shower, you can do that.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Oh, and then you easily revert back to a normal mode
Yep.
with
All the switches switch back. All right, so we have these Lutron smart switches that are all dimmers. We also have a vent fan that is on a timer. So if you want to have your vent fan run for, 60, 45, however many minutes. And then these are really cool. It's actually just capped back behind that, but this is an actual switch that's a dimmer that controls hue lights. All these buttons still work if the internet's out, which was really important to us because we all know the internet is not perfect.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we want to still be able to turn on your lights. So
Right,
that's
right.
really great.
Exactly. You want the perks of a smart home without having to depend on
Yep.
the internet.
Yep.
And we've got a separate toilet closet over here.
Yep.
Okay, that is neat. So clearly it's a heated seat. It's got a light. Is there a bidet feature also? Awesome. We're seeing so much of that. I also noticed you've got a curbless entry going in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We wanted a no-step entry because we do plan to age in place in this house and didn't want to have to worry about that in the future. And we really love that.
It's interesting how when you consider aging in place, it doesn't need to actually impact the overall aesthetic.
No, and I actually think the aesthetic's better.
Exactly.
I love
improves
this
it.
flooring. We wanted it to flow from the flooring in here and then all the way up the wall so it kind of draws your eyes up.
So Zach, another consideration in a room with dual shower heads is getting all the moisture out of the shower room. So we have dual high CFM exhaust fans in the ceiling to remove the moisture from the room, and the same in the toilet room.
And you're really close to an outside wall, so it vents out. Or does it go right? Yeah, because we've got the...
It goes right out through rigid ductwork instead of the flex, so you get the maximum flow.
Awesome. Now, I can't even see where they are, Scott. They must be hidden somewhere.
They're part of those light fixtures.
They're part of the light fixture.
Yeah, so you don't even know that they're there.
Wow. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Really well thought out. Cool.
So a lot of the outlets have.
You even have a USB-C?
Yeah.
Wow, great.
Yeah, it's really helpful because like this lamp charges and when it needs to be plugged in, you just plug it in. If you need to plug in your phone or like a HomePod, it's really nice to have those right there.
Also really like how you brought up the backsplash here just to meet it with the trim of the mirror. And that looks like Golden Eagle's hand-hewn trim too.
It is, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really ties it all in. We also have the laundry room
Yes.
right across the hall. How convenient is that? Because
Really nice.
yeah. So let's check that out. Oh, this is beautiful in here.
Yeah, it's nice to have a good big laundry room and it overlooks the dog yard, which is nice too.
Yeah.
These I love. These are just from Amazon. You just have to have somewhere to put them, but it's really nice to have some hanging space just in here that you can just pop up at any time. And these are really cool. They are smart, so I get a push notification when a cycle's done. Like how many times have you left your laundry in the wash like overnight?
Yes.
Or you're wondering, are the clothes dry yet? And getting that push notification is really, really nice. They even have a cycle where you can say, I want my clothes to be ready at 7 a.m. So I'm gonna put in a load at night before bed and it'll wait to start it until it's time for them to be done.
Wonderful. And it's nice having them on pedestals too. It gets a little higher. Once again, it's a tall person feature, right?
Yep, and we love having some cabinetry in here. We store all of our linens, but we also have a trash drawer in here, which is really nice for all the lint. You know, you're always pulling lint out of your dryer, not sure where to put it. And then on the counter, we have all of our soaps.
Neat. So this is the same countertop that we had in the kitchen?
It is,
and
it is.
the cabinets too?
Yep. Wow. And we left this open spot because we have rolling laundry carts and they just roll right into there so you can kind of tuck them away and do your stuff in here.
And then also your incorporation of these big timbers also as shelving.
Yep.
Most people, of course, are putting cabinets over the top of their washer and dryer. But what's awesome about this is, you couldn't have had that lighting up there.
Right.
It
We
also
like
makes the
having it
space-
open.
Yeah.
And these are not going to be the same depths as the cabinets that you put above, so it sometimes can look awkward. So we really love having it open. Plus, we may in the future, as we kind of settle in, have some stuff up here that we want to, quick grab as we're doing laundry.
Yeah, perfect. And we've got a vaulted ceiling in here too.
Yeah, we wanted to carry that throughout for sure.
Really feels fresh, light, and airy. Just perfect for a laundry space. Oh wow, you've got a beautiful deck out here and the railing out there too. So right around this corner.
Yeah.
I see you've got a lock on the dog door.
Yeah, so you can lock the doggy door. It also has a steel cover that you can put over if you're going on vacation, you really want to lock it up. But we love having a doggy door so that the dog can roam free and we're not chasing her around, letting her out all the time.
That is great.
One thing that I really love about this space too is that
Oh yeah.
we put a cover over where you might be standing. Maybe you're all about to leave, you're waiting on the dog to go to the bathroom, but it's raining and you can just stand here and watch. And it's just been a really nice space for her to have. Plus it leads around to that front deck, so it still connects.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this brings in a lot of great natural light into that hallway.
Yep.
Also, I mean, that's just a beautiful fence out there, and we've got another great view. I can't believe what I'm seeing to my right and left.
Yeah.
You even finished off the window wells with
Yes.
stone, and I see some beautiful pavers down there
Yep.
for someone to be able to step up and out.
Yep, so that they still have to be an egress, so we put some pretty steep stairs, but some stairs. And my future vision for it is I want to put some potted plants on them because you can see them from those rooms down there and it might bring some greenery in.
I think that this is going to be one of those things that a lot of people jot down and say they've got to do on their own home, because oftentimes a window well is unsightly. It's usually just a necessity for someone to be able to escape from the lower level.
Yep.
In this case, it's actually an additional feature of the home.
Yeah.
It looks stunning.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we would probably rather not have window wells, but when you're talking about cost, the basement space is the least expensive way to add a bunch of square footage for guest rooms or offices or things. But you want to still be able to bring in some natural light, and you also want to be able to, for your home valuation, to consider multiple bedrooms down there, which require an egress. So you kind of end up with window wells in a lot of cases, and we wanted to make sure we at least had nice window wells.
Well, this is an unexpected space. I didn't expect a nice dog area to be packed full of so many features. It's really beautiful back here as well. Let's head back on inside. Wow, this is awesome. For a garage, it's so bright and light and airy. I mean, how often, I don't know if I've ever seen a garage before that has a vaulted ceiling. That's really cool.
It allows us to do the 8-foot and the 10-foot garage door. That also works really well with the single slope roof.
Yeah, it does.
We've already found that extra tall garage door really helpful when we've got stuff stacked on the car. You can just pull it right in, no big deal.
Well, that's pretty cool to have glass on your garage doors as well. A lot of people are gonna love that idea. Will you walk us through why you'd consider glass? I assume it's for the light. Is there anything else that someone should consider?
It is. The glass garage doors are absolutely for the light. This is also the north wall of the house, and so it gets no sun. So we get the light, but without the solar gain, which is a great thing for a garage that's not a heated and cooled space.
And it also just makes it feel less like a garage. Like again, like no room left behind. We wanted them to all be really nice. And it makes it more pleasant to be out here, maybe building some furniture or doing whatever you're doing.
Wow, great idea with the car mats. A lot of times I've seen where, well, in your case, you probably don't have much salt on the roads.
Right.
But back where I'm from, we use a lot of salt on the roads, and it wears away at the concrete.
Sure.
Yeah, but this is really awesome.
We do have a lot of gravel, dust, and mud though out here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, really wonderful. What do we have behind me here?
That's one of my favorite things. It's a gigantic, gigantic closet for all of that extra stuff that maybe you want to make sure doesn't get dirty, but would be great to store in the garage.
That is a lot bigger than I
So
expected.
it's essentially an extension of the pantry. We have light bulbs, toilet paper, paper towels, all that kind of stuff in there.
That's
And
great.
it also creates a perfect recess for a little trash area so you're not cramming your trash can, against your car.
Something that we've done is all the garage doors have 220 outlets by the garage door, either for, in the future, already being pre-wired for an electric vehicle charger, or in my case, with this being an automotive space, this will power either a hydraulic lift or a portable welder.
Wow, that is awesome foresight. Really, probably all garages in the future should have something like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I actually do intend to get an electric vehicle next, and so we're really glad we did that.
Wow, great idea.
So another nice feature in here is we did the wall mount garage door openers, which especially with the slanted ceiling, it opens up so you'll notice there's nothing hanging above the vehicles.
Well, wonderful. You said we've got a duplicate of this space in the lower level?
Yes.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Are you using that as a workshop?
That's right.
Okay, great.
So this is the dirty garage, the future workshop, and primarily where we're storing some things right now as we transition into the home. We've been in the home for about 5 months. But it houses all of the lawn equipment and my camping gear and some woodworking equipment, and most importantly, the beer fridge. So if we're gonna talk about the workshop.
That's right.
Go ahead and
How great.
go ahead and grab a beer.
Boy, awesome.
All right.
You are a natural host. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
I've tried to think through how we want to use this space. We've got the gas heater, the TV for YouTube for projects. I learn a lot through watching videos of other people, just like we found you on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you originally discovered us on YouTube, right?
That's right.
Scott?
It was a recommendation on YouTube because we'd been watching all of these construction videos. And we were like, oh, that looks interesting. And it just felt so approachable. Like of all the paths that we could take to build this house, that's one that we were like, we can see how that would work.
That is awesome. It comes full circle now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now your home will inspire others
Yeah.
to start their own journey.
Yeah.
So that's great. You get a few sips of a beer in me and all of a sudden I start getting sentimental. So let's get back to business. I'd like to see the office.
Let's do it. Bring you on into the workspace.
Ah, awesome.
This is how we pay for the house.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, this is an awesome space.
So Ellen and I both work from home. This is my office, of course, right off of the dirty space, off the workshop. And got a nice place to sit and pay attention during a company town hall to the TV here mounted on the wall. And then, of course, the tall desk with the tall chair for the remote life setup. And then behind us is just the reliquary, as I've been told it's called, of
Yeah, cool.
artifacts from my life.
That's awesome. Really great. Well, this is a very creative space. I can see where it inspires you as well. Plus also being able to see into,
Yes.
of course, another reflection of your creativity.
Yeah.
So Ellen, where is your office?
Right across the hall.
Oh, perfect. I'd love to see that. Beautiful in here. Really a lot of nice natural light also.
Yeah.
That window well that I was admiring before. I've never admired a window well as much in my life. This is just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Now, we must be at 9-foot ceilings down here?
Oh, they're much higher.
They're
yeah,
10
they're
foot?
10. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we just didn't want it to feel like a basement down here.
No.
Especially since we're spending, 8-10 hours a day down here. We wanted it to feel nice and light and airy. And we both have the standing and the sitting desk. I have mine in sit mode right now.
Yeah.
But that's also nice if you're working from home to be able to kind of like mix it up and also have another chair and place that you can sit.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I notice the dog spends all day with me in here, so she's got her own little spot. She's not a great intern, but she's real cute.
Well, Stella probably helps the day fly by.
She does.
Yeah,
She does.
that's great. And then with these standing desks, you have programmable settings. So
Yeah.
if you know you want them at a certain height.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Wow.
And then it just magically elevates.
And it magically clears the shelf on the wall.
Yes, yes. And that was very intentional.
Well, right down the hallway, I saw just a glimpse into another special space.
Yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
see what's going on down
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. So you'll notice this is kind of a multifunctional space. I talked a lot about wanting all the spaces to have a real purpose that we're using them for. And so this is where we work out, right? The gym. But we also, in building this house, we have a lot of friends and family that are from far away. Like we mentioned, neither of us are originally from Nashville. And so we wanted to make sure we set up a space where they could come stay with us. So the downstairs also kind of functions as a suite. Both of our offices have keyed locks because we got little kids that might come with them. And this couch folds out so you could put the kids in here. And then we've got an actual guest room off the end of the hall, and then a full bath at the end. So this whole area just becomes a suite, even with parking out here or in the workshop.
That is perfect. So they can really come and go as they wish if they're here for an extended stay.
Yeah, and get comfortable. There's a TV in here. They end up with a kind of a living area.
Awesome. This is a heck of a patio door too. I mean, of course, once again, the 8-foot height makes a statement, but we're also pretty wide on this. This must be 12 feet or so.
Yeah, I really wanted a place where I could do yoga and kind of capture nature outside. The other really nice thing about this is like my parents have a dog, and when they bring the dog here, the dog has a place to go do its business right off of their space.
Okay, so we've got the guest bedroom right over here.
Yep.
I love the accent of the timbers and the hand-hewn timbers around the windows, our wall to ceiling transition of those timbers. It's perfect for all the drywall that we have in the home.
Yeah.
So it still brings the character and the interest.
Yep.
And it really spritzes up the space.
We also found with all of the timbers when we moved in, we were like, we don't really need much art. Because between all the windows and the timbers, that's what we wanted to highlight. So you'll notice we only have a couple art pieces in the home.
Yeah. I also noticed that you have casement windows throughout your home. And these are awesome. Not only are they the most energy efficient operation of a window, they open and close like a door would close. When the wind blows, it just blows them tighter. That's why they perform even better.
They're great, and you'll notice we have the same blinds throughout all of these windows down here too.
too. Wow. Even the guests get the best of it all.
Yep, they've got their own blackout blinds they can sleep in, you know.
That's wonderful. That is so great. And they probably have a way to be able to control all that too. So
they have their own remote down here, so they don't need to know about this smart home system or what cues to say.
Awesome, awesome.
And then they also have a full bath, which I'll take you to.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that. Whoa. Oh, this is awesome.
The smart toilet again.
That is great. How cool. I just can't help but take a look at this. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
What a tub also.
Yeah, it's a nice deep tub.
Very wide and deep, yeah. Yeah, that is great. This is a beautiful room, beautiful space. I love the smart toilet aspect of it too. And this vanity is awesome too.
Yeah, and it's nice too because my parents come with a whole lot of accessories and they like to spread it all out. And so, you know, your guests can put their dot bag here and kind of spread out. I feel like a lot of guest bathrooms don't have enough room for guests to really hang things up.
Exactly. It's extra cool with your taller backsplash on this also. And then carrying through the same theme that we saw in the master bathroom. They even look like the same type of lights up there.
They are, yeah.
And trim around the mirror. Yeah, it's really awesome in here. A spectacular job.
Thank you.
It's awesome. You've got a whole home generator over there.
That's right.
So it actually, when I say whole home, I assume it powers the whole house if you were to lose service.
It powers almost the entire house. So what we decided was that it would power every critical function on the main level, as well as the treehouse, and then some of the features down below. And it all runs off of propane. Automatic transfer switch, power goes off, generator comes on. We're out for about a minute.
Countdown, 3, 2, 1, we're back on.
That is awesome.
Another reason we wanted this is with us working from home, power goes out, we also lose our internet, which means we lose our connectivity to our jobs. So it was kind of important for us to be able to keep that internet going at all times.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, while we're outside, I'd love to take a look around the property and really take a step back. This is just such an impressive home. I kind of want to see it from a distance.
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. It's amazing to think that we were up there in the treehouse, looking down on this this incredible view. It really is a spectacle. It's beautiful from out here as well.
Something that we really thought hard about is the approach from the driveway. We wanted to make sure that the house was modest, and it is. You see the north wall with the 2 garage doors in the front entry. Coming around to the west face, which very few people will do unless they're staying with us in the suite or working on something in the shop with me, this is where you really see the full home for what it is. So over time, we will face the retaining walls and cap them as well. We prioritized things that were really important to have done at the time that we moved in, and dressing the retaining walls, and a few other cosmetic things can be done later without adding to the mortgage.
This is really a spectacular home. Clearly, you both had just a huge influence on it all turning out. You had a lot of great foresight, a lot of great planning and research. Did a lot of work yourselves also. You must have also had other help clearly on the project. Let's touch base on that a little bit.
I'm so glad you asked. So locally here in Nashville, JBT Construction, Jason Tidwell. In addition to JBT, also Rick Parmeter at Rustic Redefined. He and his crew did the majority of the framing and structural and finish work on this home, did just a phenomenal job.
And of course, Golden Eagle, we wouldn't be here without Golden Eagle. We had almost given up on this project until we found your home video. And I am so thrilled that we happened to be on YouTube that day because Golden Eagle has no question been a bright spot in this and a really good resource for everything.
Well, thank you so much. It's really an honor to be able to be a part of this project. It is truly spectacular. We appreciate you bringing us into your home today. And this is really, I think, a showpiece home, one that will inspire many others out there. So those of you that watch this video, please comment below. What are your favorite features on the home? If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. We've got many more great home tours coming out in the future.